Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Demi Lovato makeup and hair inspired look, so I hope you guys enjoy. So to start off, on the eyes, I'm going to be creating a smoky eye. I'm going to begin with the color Whiskey from the Smoky palette by Urban Decay. Since her look was very blended, I decided to start off with a brown in order to kind of give that ombre effect on the lid. Now on the eyebrow bone, I'm just going to be applying a vanilla shade. This one is 13 from the same palette. I noticed she had a very subtle highlight underneath the eyebrow bone, so I went ahead and applied a matte one. Now I'm going to begin adding the black shadow. This one is in Black Market, and I'm just using a flat brush to gently add the product little by little. I am going to go back, blend, add a little bit more product, so it doesn't look too dramatic. So here I'm just blending it, making sure that I like the way it's blending, and I am going to add a little bit more of the black shadow. Once everything's blended, I'm going to go ahead and apply the lashes. I'm using the Foxy by Koko lashes. These are actually very similar to the ones that she had in her look. And now moving on to applying a primer. I'm using the Too Faced Hangover Primer. And for the foundation, I decided to go with a very light coverage for foundation, so I went ahead and applied the Too Faced Born This Way, since Demi had a very flawless, natural appearance to her skin. For the concealer, I went ahead and applied the Makeup Forever Full Cover in the shade 10. This one isn't too dramatic or too light. It covers perfectly, and I noticed she didn't have a very bright under eye area, so I decided to go with something a little bit closer to my skin tone. Now I'm just going to be setting my under eye area using the SACHA Cosmetics Buttercup Powder. I'm going to go back to the eyes just to smoke out the bottom lash line, just like the one that she had, and I'm using the Shadow Black Market. So first I like to go in with a thin brush to make it very precise, and I go in with a brush that's a little bit fuller in order to get that very smoked out shadow. And since she did have a black liner on the waterline, I'm going to go ahead and apply the ColourPop Swerve Gel Liner. And then right after, I'm going to be applying a few coats of mascara. This one is the Sigma High Caliber Lash. I also noticed that she had a little bit of gold on the inner corner of the eye, so I'm applying Dirty Sweet from the same palette. I'm going to be bronzing using the Pixie by Petra Natural Contour Powder. Not too much, since she didn't have that much of a contour to her face. For the highlight, I'm using ColourPop's Electric Slide, and I'm applying it on the tops of the cheeks and on the bridge of the nose. On the lips, first I'm going to line them up with this lip liner by Alley Girl. And for the lipstick, I went ahead and applied the Melt Cosmetics 666. Felt like it was very close to the one that she had. So now I'm just going to be perfecting the lip by applying a bit of foundation. And now I'm going to move on to the hair. First, I'm going to be parting the hair to the side. And I'm going to be doing this extra step just because of the fact that I have long hair. So I'm going to be tucking away the bottom section of my hair. I'm going to braid it and pretend like it doesn't exist. Once I'm done braiding it, I'm just going to tuck it away and pin it to my hair. Very, very flat. And now I'm going to begin to curl my entire hair. I'm using the 19mm wand by Nume. My hair was straightened from the night before, so if it doesn't seem as curled, it's because of the fact that it was flat straight. So do take that into consideration. I wasn't planning to do this tutorial, but so many of you tagged me, so I wanted to go ahead and do it for you guys. So as you can see, now I'm just spraying my hair, and I'm going to begin to pin these sections where I have curled them. I'm using my hand to put pressure on the pins and create finger waves. So I'm going ahead and applying more pins to the area that is flat. I'm putting pressure to add waves to the hair. Now I'm just going to tease the remaining part of my hair and tucking it in and pinning it. I'm adding a bit of hairspray. Since I noticed Demi's look was very, very obvious where the pins were, I'm trying to create that with the hairspray. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, but this one you don't have to be as careful, especially since she just had bobby pins on the side of her hair. You don't have to create the very dramatic waves on this section. So I'm just continuing to pin and tucking it in and pinning it to my hair. Now I'm hairspraying everything together and leaving it on for a few minutes. I actually would have preferred to do this step first. It would have looked a little bit better, but I decided to do the hairstyle at the end. So now I'm just gently removing the pins. I love this look. It's like an old Hollywood glam. But we're basically done with this look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys haven't. Bye guys!